Awesome. So, everyone that might be watching, in this video, I wanted to try a slightly different vibe than what I tried in the last video, where in the last video, I really rushed through a lot of my content. And this time, I want to take it a little slower and pay more attention to each of the different things I'm trying to say. And so, in this presentation, I'm going to be talking about Test Suites, which is a product I built with the company Vappy, and it's an evaluation system for voice agents. And so to give some context on Vappy, Vappy is a developer platform for building voice agents. We operated at a high scale, so we had more than 200,000 developers using the product and processed more than 50 million calls. And in my 6 months there, the company scaled from 5 to 25 employees and 5 million to 10 billion ARR. So I was the third engineer, and the company definitely went through hyper growth while I was there. And the Test Suites project roughly took 2 months, and I and I also worked with a couple other products while I was doing that, which I can talk about after. And when I joined the company, Test Suites was or rather, agent reliability and evaluation systems really felt like top of mind for me, because this is not just a problem that appears in voice agents; it appears in LLMs at large. And I was when talking to these customers, we had all these agents in production, but they had no way to measure whether they was reliable. And so, one of our customers, one of our enterprise customers that had this voice agent um, um, for like their hotel chain, so to handle the agent would just start hallucinating, saying things like giving free discounts to the customers, or saying that, oh, here's a $10 discount for the rooms. And every time this guy would go in and make a change, he said he would spend hours on the call testing it, because if something went wrong, he would have to report to his VP a couple levels higher than him. And so this anxiety that became very clear in his use case also came up in a lot of other customers that we worked with across the restaurant agency. We had voice agents being deployed for restaurants. We had them. Some other examples were in. What were some of the big ones? Voice agent. I mean, healthcare was a big use case. With payment systems, contact information collection. I mean, very many use cases. So thematically, the kinds of challenges people ran into was, a lot of manual testing, tool calls not being called correctly, the agent hallucinating, or getting the wrong, not being able to access the right knowledge from the knowledge base. And so coming into the company, this felt like the biggest problem that I saw, mainly because, there were other problems too across infrastructure and product, but those feel like they were fairly mature. And this was like a greenfield opportunity that I felt to have a lot of impact. And so I took this project from suggesting it as an idea to when we actually executed and iterated on something that solved this burning pain that we had. And the way you'd interact with with the system was either through a public facing backend API. So given Vappy's developers first platform, this was a really important interface for us, and also through the front end in the dashboard itself. And just to cover the impact at a high level, we had by the end of these 2 months, we were processing more than 1,000 minutes of test calls per day. We had usage from close to 30% weekly active users, and we were able to grow the weekly retention through a couple improvements that we made to 30%. And we had some of our largest enterprise customers like ServiceNow, GoHealth, using and relying on the product. And so it was becoming important in a lot of our enterprise calls too. So that's some high-level context, and the structure I wanted to follow while I talk about my work is to first talk about evaluation systems in general, then you get into the demo, show you the architecture, talk about the design of the public API, talk about some follow-up improvements I made to to improve the product, and then reflect on future work at the end. Cool. I think that's good for now. Let me stop and pause this.